what is the aim of the master? So the aim of the master, if I have to summarize it, I think that our master is the first step, the very first step for becoming a successful researcher. In a sense that the idea is that we can try to provide you all the theoretical and methodological knowledge that you need for starting your career in a research environment. Well, it doesn't mean that in a research environment is in academia, but it's more likely that if you carry on with your career, you can apply to a PhD, but also in a private institution, private research institution. So the idea is that during our master, you can get all the knowledge that you need for trying to become an autonomous researcher. What does it mean? It means that part of our master is organizing frontal lectures, and part of our master is devoted to traineeship and thesis. So for giving you a rough idea, most of your first year is going to be devoted to courses, so you have to attend courses for the first year. In the second year, you have 2 courses, more or less, to be followed, and then most of your time is dedicated, supposed to be dedicated to traineeship and thesis. Traineeship and thesis could be 2 different stuff, could be 2 different, they could be 2 different projects. Imagine that you start your traineeship in a specific project, you like it, but you're not really convinced that you would like to run your thesis on that project. Okay, you have learned something, and then you can move to another project for your thesis. So traineeship and thesis are both somewhat practical experience. So you have to run experiments, you have to collect data. But for the traineeship, you have just to do your practical experience, let's say. For the thesis, you have to start to more about the theoretical background on specific topics. Okay, so this is mainly the difference. What is important? The master is in English. It's quite obvious. It's important because English is the main language in research. So if you want to become a successful researcher, you have to learn how to speak, how to write in English. So because you need it for presenting your data in a meeting, conference. You need to know how to write a paper. So during our master, we provide also courses for scientific communication, which is quite important. Well, we don't expect that our students are going to present their data during the master, or they are going to submit any paper during the master, but it could happen. It has happened, so this year we have a student that is going to present his research project in Singapore, in a conference in Singapore. For those specific aspects, like presenting your work, your thesis abroad, we have some money. We can support, partially support. So we support this kind of expenses. So if you have to attend to a conference and you are going to present, fine, we are happy. We are happy because it's important for us, it's important for you as a student. And so we try to provide also the skills for presenting your data in a oral, in a conference, in an oral presentation, or how to write a paper. Writing a paper, maybe you can submit a paper during your master, but it's really important for applying in a PhD program. So if you want to apply in a PhD program, you should be able to write up a research proposal in English. And if in your CV you have already anything published, it's obviously good for you. Can get you you can get more. You could have more chances to get into any PhD program. Our master is actually an international environment, not just because it's in English, but because half of our students are non-Italian, are foreign, are from abroad. Okay, so this is quite important. Can have really an international experience attending our master. We have mainly two tracks. One track is Cognitive Neuroscience, and the other is Language and Multimodal Interaction track. The two tracks are almost independent, so we have different courses for the two tracks, and the general structure is a common structure. For both the tracks, we have obligatory courses, mandatory courses, optional courses, free choice courses, internship and thesis. So the overall structure is the same, but we have different kind of courses. Raffaella later on is going to, over there, is going to present the language and multimodal interaction track. I'm going to present, try to present the cognitive neuroscience track. So first of all, maybe the question that you have is why should I try to apply for this master? Well, I have, to be honest, different kind of reason, but there is an obvious conflict of interest for me. I'm working here, I'm the coordinator. But I did my degree almost 20 years ago, ages. And at that time, in Italy, we didn't have any chance to have a course, a degree in English, first of all. So for trying to get this kind of experience, at the end of my degree, and during my PhD, I moved abroad, which is fine. You can do it even if you start a master in English, but it could help to know, to master English, to try to already present your data, able to speak in public in English. So it could help. So this is the first reason. The second reason is that 20 years ago, when I took my degree, I did some practical experience, some traineeship, but it was quite difficult to do experience with the MRI, with the MAG, with TMS for different reasons. Some of those techniques were not available. And still in the year, still in some places, it might be difficult to learn how to use those techniques. So a second reason for applying our master is that then you could have a chance to learn how to use one of those techniques, which is quite important in the cognitive neuroscience field. Okay. Another reason is because it's the number of students that we accept, it's relatively small, just 40. But we think it's an ideal number. We can have a good ratio between faculty and students. So you can be sure that most of the time, the faculty that is follow your work is available, that the faculty that is teaching is available. You can discuss, if you have any question, you can contact them. It might be available. With the higher number, it might be more difficult to have the possibility to have a real proper supervision, for instance. So, as I told you, you could get really a deep, a good, strong training experience in labs with people that doesn't know how to use those techniques. They teach you how to use those techniques for running experiments in both experimental and brain imaging labs. Some few words about the courses. So, as I told you, we have some mandatory courses. Those courses are in cognitive psychology, in cognitive neuroscience, in brain imaging. I have to stress one fact here. So, when we say foundations, we don't mean that they are really basic. Yes?
In the booklet it actually says that the Introduction to Human Language is actually an elective course. I was wondering, is it mandatory or like? Well,
maybe there is a mistake on this book, but it's a mandatory course. It's a mandatory course. So, and we have to human language for the cognitive neuroscience and advanced to human language for the language and multimodal interaction. They are both mandatory.
Thank you.
So when we say foundation, we don't mean they are basic course. So if you don't know anything about cognitive psychology, cognitive neuroscience, maybe it's better that you try to bridge your gap. In a sense that our master course is a master course, it's not a bachelor course. So we cannot provide you the very basic knowledge. We are not a bachelor degree, we are a master degree. So if you want, those courses are advanced courses. So if you don't know anything about those topics, okay, you can try to bridge the gap. And for helping you to understand whether your level is good, sufficient enough, or you need to bridge the gap, once you have applied and you get the possible position, you are admitted to the master, we are going to send you a questionnaire with questions in different kind of topics, cognitive psychology, cognitive neuroscience, but also statistics and programming. So, first of all, is to provide you an idea of your level and get feedback. It's important for us to get feedback about our future students. So, if you don't reach the sufficient level of knowledge, then we provide you references for trying to bridge the gap. For instance, you might be quite good in cognitive psychology or cognitive neuroscience, but you don't know anything about programming. We try to provide you some references. You don't have to learn how to program by yourself. We have the courses that can provide, but we provide you the basic knowledge that you need for following those courses. In our past, we have had our past experience. We are 7 years old now as a master. We have had the following experience. Our students are coming from very different backgrounds, and always they arrive, they start to follow the course, and they have problem in following the course because they don't have the sufficient knowledge for following the course. So this year we're trying to solve this problem by the questionnaire and by providing you the reference. Then, once you get all the information that you need for trying to bridging the gap, then it's everything in your hand. So you cannot ask us to bridge the gap. We start from a certain level. Okay. If you are not able to follow it, well, sorry, it's a problem for you because we have provided in advance all the information that you need. Okay. So if you feel that the gap that you need to bridge is too big, well, you might consider whether the master is the right place for you. Okay. Again, I want to stress the fact this is a master, is not a bachelor degree. We cannot provide you all the basic knowledge in all the different topics. You have to try to bridge the gap by yourself, to try to get those knowledge by yourself before starting. If you don't have it at the very beginning, it might be a problem for you. Okay. So, I want to stress the fact that for us it's quite important not just the foundation of cognitive psychology, foundation of cognitive neuroscience, or the foundation of brain image, but also those other courses. Why are important? Because if you want to do research, you need to know statistics. You need to know how to apply, how to use it, how to analyze the data. If you don't know it, it's a problem for your research. You need to know how to design an experiment. We try to provide it with the research design course. In the research design course, we provide you with the information about the methodological aspects of research. What is the difference between within or between subject design? So very basic one. And statistical knowledge. Plus, we provide you the knowledge for programming an experiment. So once you start your research, you should be able to program an experiment for presenting your stimuli, for collecting the data, for also analyzing the data. So it's extremely important. This is the reason why those courses are mandatory in our master. So, again, if you have problem or you don't have the necessary skills for following these courses, it's better that you try to get those information before starting. We have also elective and constrained choice courses, and as you can see, they are quite different. So if you are interested in basic neuroscience, you can choose neuroscience. Hands-on method course is a course more on how to analyze MRI data. We have different kind of several options. So once you start your career, then you can decide what are the courses that you want to put in your career. To choose them, you can contact the faculty that is teaching the courses. You can contact me for deciding. And so, but you have a different kind of options. There are the last reason for trying to apply to our master is your future possibilities. So if I got a master at CIMeC, what can I do afterwards? What can I do after the master? So in October 2015, last year, a few months ago, we did an internal survey. We contacted our past students and we asked them what they are doing now, if they are involved in a PhD school, what they are doing, are they employed, unemployed. And actually, we got a very good picture for us. So most of our students are now employed. Almost 80% are employed. Most of them are in a PhD program, so they are doing their PhD, and usually they took on average 2 months for getting in a PhD after the master. So when they have finished the master, on average, just 2 months for getting in the PhD program. Some other are employed in a company, a researcher, or already postdoctoral fellow. Because from the beginning, some of them have completed their PhD program and now they have started a postdoctoral fellowship. As you can see, they are employed in many different kind of university, many different kind of PhD program. So they are not just in a local PhD program. So the PhD program at CIMeC is obviously an option, and we are happy if we can get our master student in the PhD, but it's not the only option. We are also happy if we can send our student abroad in many different universities in different countries, because it's good for us. If we are able to prepare a good student, it's obviously sort of good marketing for us. Okay. Some other university. So as you can see, they are not just Italian, not just European, but many different countries. We have also people employed in research institutes, in private companies. So I think this is the very last reason for trying to apply to our master. So I think I have finished. Do you have any questions about the master and about the cognitive neuroscience track? If you have a specific question, we can meet afterwards, as I told you, and there is going to be very informal meeting. You can try to ask whatever you want to ask, and if you don't have question now, okay, I think it's time for Raffaella to present the other track, the language and multimodal interaction.